Well, gentlemen, and starting the consultation, we have just received this beautiful creature. It's a girl. We are going to work on her with a mixed technique of scissors, carding, and a bit of stripping and organize her little body a bit. As we can notice, her primary hair stands out from her structure. This is because at some point they must have used clippers removing part of her hair, okay?
That's why it looks messy, unkempt, a bit scruffy. What is the procedure we are going to do on this creature to restore that coat a little? We are going to thin it out a bit with the stripping stone and the stripping blade to smooth down that hair and make it adhere a bit more to the skin, eliminating these waves and that frizz, so to speak. So we already took a photo.
Now, let us wait for the after photo. Let us wait for the result. Let us see how it turns out. We hold the dog by the neck, hold the body a bit like this.
Well, gentlemen, and starting the consultation, we have just received this beautiful creature. It's a girl. We are going to work on her with a mixed technique of scissors, carding, and a bit of stripping and organize her little body a bit. As we can notice, her primary hair stands out from her structure. This is because at some point they must have used a machine, removing part of her hair, okay? That's why it looks messy, unkempt, a bit scruffy.
What is the procedure we are going to do on this creature to restore that coat a little? We are going to thin it out a bit with the stripping stone and the stripping blade to smooth down that hair and make it adhere a bit more to the skin, eliminating these waves and that frizz, so to speak. So we already took a photo.
Let's wait for the after photo. Let's wait for the result. Let's see how it turns out. We hold the dog by the neck, hold the body a bit like this, okay? And we gently strip the fur. Very well, he is behaving very well and he will look very nice. So we look a little to smooth his fur. It looks very nice. That's what we are here for, to enhance his aesthetics and natural beauty, right? It has very, very little resistance, honestly. Luckily, in this technique, what is important is to keep the pet. Always work with safety. This moment I have her, I don't have her held because I'm working on the body part, but I have her held with my left hand for safety reasons so she doesn't accidentally get hurt. That's what the tables are designed for, to always secure the pets, because we must keep in mind that
they are still, no matter how much they are pets and beloved beings that are part of our family, our home, they are still animals, okay? They work by impulse, by emotions, by nerves, simply by liking because the owner is nearby, because they growl, no? Or for some reason they might pull off the table. So we already worked on the neck area. We proceed to, this is very high, but the table is designed for that, okay? So let's get that out of our heads, that this mistreats the animal.
completely the opposite, it assures you. I want to do whatever you want badly.
Just make me beautiful and let's do everything possible to leave this boy. Oh, it's a girl.
That's beautiful girl. Just look at how excellently she behaves. She's doing very well. She's anxious. She wants to go outside. Goes through this mapping. We must be careful and trained to know what is the proper procedure that such a breed requires. She is not a purebred dog. She is not a purebred dog and is...
The fact that she is not a purebred dog does not mean we will give her a 10, a 7, a 15. It's simply about grooming her according to her morphology, her body structure, her expression, okay? And it has no breed, but let's say it has a structural similarity to that of a border collie. Okay? It can be worked on like that, so to speak, right? So let's say that we as professionals must take care of that because the client is not in a position to know what grooming their pet requires. So we evaluate it in person. It can also be done. I at least can evaluate it in a photo. There are professionals in the field who do not evaluate by photo, determine the time it will take me, the service I will provide, the cosmetics I will use, and the time basically, and well, the aesthetics of the final result of that little dog, so that the pet and the owner leave satisfied with the work. And in this way, that technique and methodology have helped me a lot to position in aesthetics on Google, on the internet. So if it has worked for me, it can work for you too. There are many things. Not only is it about being good, being kind, knowing how to use the tools, but also the attention to the animal, always prioritizing the animal's well-being. So let's say that here I already did a pre-cut, a pre-grooming. We removed all this hair. It's hair that needs to be removed before the bath. Why? Because it doesn't make sense for this hair to be on this little body and for us to apply shampoo, wasting product. You don't spend much because it's a small dog, but I'm speaking in general. And then extend the drying time because it's hair that we are going to discard. It doesn't make sense to wash it. It doesn't make sense to dry it, okay? So that's why this should be done before the bath. Okay, this is a pre-grooming. Right now, to do the bath, we apply a product for white hair. We apply a little conditioner to hydrate that hair strand, and then we see the scissor styling that this beauty will have. We have a little while here that we will be offering you. This is the product to take. Ready. Here we have the creature, right? We already applied a conditioner. Well, the product works. The ideal is not just to leave the dog there wet, soaked, for the product to work when they are untangled. In this case, while the product works, we comb it to untangle the hair fibers a bit, and the product has a better effect and can nourish better. I love that he behaves very well. We hydrate. When we hydrate, what are we doing? We are giving massages. We are distressing the dog a bit. Yes, if it's a dog that is stressed, that gets stressed easily, by handling him, drying him, the dog starts gaining confidence and behaves very well during the service. Look at the face. That's it. After combing, well, 3 minutes pass. The minimum is to comb. In this case, she, being a small breed, a small dog, doesn't take long to rinse. We remove some hairs that are around there. That the shakes, we cannot prevent a dog while we are bathing it, whether in a grooming setting or at home, from shaking because they instinctively shake because they feel moisture or water behind their ears. So if they don't shake, that water goes deeper into the ear canal and can cause an infection. So we absolutely have to let the dog shake. When do we prevent the dog from shaking? If we haven't wet its head, if we haven't poured water from the withers to the stop, it means no water has fallen on it. So the dog shakes because it feels damp and shakes. In that case, we can say, stop, don't shake. But if we have already wet him completely, we do need to let him shake because he might possibly have water behind his ears. I, in particular, am not one of those who put cotton in the ears unless the client requests it, because I am a person who does not have a good memory, and it happened to me on some occasions when I used to implement that technique before, that the dog would arrive at the client's house with cotton in his ears, and
Well, that's not right. So I prefer simply not to put it on and be more careful. Done, we have combed it.
a product took effect, okay? Yeah, we cannot neglect the dog at any moment, and we have to secure it again, you see? Because while I take this brush over there, the dog might jump. Since its feet are wet, it falls to the ground, slips, doesn't have a good grip, and can get injured.
You have to keep that in mind. We look at it, we observe it. He sees us, I see him. I see her because of the kids thing.
So it seems like a child. Look at the choo-choo, choo-choo-choo. The cold is ending, but the water here comes out warm if there's any problem. He already started crying, and let's say, well, after enough time, then like 3-4 minutes since I left the conditioner.
So we are going to take out, remove the water, keep going well, keep going well. And here a little photo of the before, one of the after, one of the process, hairstyle, and here the final result. Thanks us, gives us the little paw after the draining with pleasure.